Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Eric Paxton. Today is June 1st of 2025. We are in class FTE 217, Modern Sporting Rifles. This is going to be week 4 video assignment. The parts will be the disassembly of the rifle, the cleaning explanations of the rifle itself and what you'll be looking for as far as damages or any kind of areas to inspect. Part 3 is going to be how to avoid ammo-induced issues and what platforms are susceptible to issues. And let's see, Part 4 is whether or not should we train our customers on the proper form or how to hold and use the firearm in general that they're using if they are new. Part 5 is why is it important to understand the accessory operation and how they will affect the firearm before attachment to the firearm. All of these will be based off of the AR-15 platform. The one that I have in front of me over here is going to be the AR-10 platform. We'll go ahead and show that. That is this one right here. And we're going to go ahead and show clear. We'll pull the bolt to the rear, lock it in place, return the charging handle to its home, show that there is no magazine present inside of the firearm, and then we will check the chamber here to prove there's nothing in there, nothing but a little bit of lubricating oil. And then I will release the bolt to go back home, close the charging port cover, and we will do the disassembly off camera. I will come back and show you the disassembly, and then I will also do the kind of explanation of the cleaning of the parts. Okay, welcome back. Now we are going to show the disassembled firearm, and due to a tool malfunction, I was not able to completely 100% disassemble it all the way down to its base components. The tool malfunction being the torque wrench that was needed. But you have your bolt carrier, the bolt cam, the firing pin, the keeper key, the charging handle, the upper receiver to include your barrel nut, your handguard, and your barrel, your muzzle device down here. Then you have your lower receiver, which consists of your trigger group and hammer and bolt catch and magazine catch, your buttstock, the buffer tube, and the buffer piece there with the spring behind it. Now we will go into the cleaning of the disassembled gun and what I would be looking for, and some of the most important things are going to be stuff like your bolt here, because you see you have these lugs all the way around there, and one of them is actually this one right here. I don't know if you can see that groove around it, but that is also the extractor. When the shell goes in, that piece catches the lip of it, and as the bolt reciprocates rearward, pulls it back and flings it from the firearm, used with the aid of this little plunger pin over here. And some of the things that I'm going to be looking for would be excessive wear, while I'm scrubbing these parts clean of any carbon buildup, would be excessive wear on the lugs of the bolt, any chips, cracks, or broken parts that might be present there. I would also be looking at my firing pin to make sure that the tip of the firing pin isn't damaged in any way, or the body of it isn't cracked or bent or broken in any possible way. Also with this, because with this the firing pin does protrude through this hole in the side of it. I don't know if you can see that hole or not, but kind of move my head out of the way so you can see the light through it. I'll also be checking your charging handle for any broken pieces, especially around here, because this is where the gas key on your firearm goes through. This tube protrudes through that with it setting over it, kind of like so. it would be down inside of there. I would also be inspecting the hammer, which is right here, for any broken parts. The trigger group. Also, I would also be looking into the barrel area. So I don't know if you can see up in there, but there are parts around here that are matching to the face of the bolt. There are grooves in there. I would be checking those for cracks, bends, burrs, or any damages that might cause malfunctions in the firearm or cause any catastrophic failures. As far as ammo-induced issues, in my opinion, if you would stick to factory-loaded ammunition, I don't see that there being any issues unless you use the wrong ammunition in your firearm. Like this one is chambered for 308. I can use 7.62 by 51 in it. But if this firearm were chambered for 7.62 by 51, I could not use the 308 due to the 308 being higher chamber pressures. It would cause damage to the firearm, possible catastrophic failure, and injury to the user. Also, just like, because with hand-loaded ammunition, there is a chance that the ammunition could be loaded way too hot, or be what some people consider to be a spicy round, being loaded way too hot, which could cause excessive chamber pressures exceeding the limits of what your firearm is rated to handle. And when it comes to part 4, the training, I do believe, especially for those who are new to the firearms world, and specifically, the modern sporting rifles such as your AR-10s, AR-15s, AR-9s, that you should be trained on how to, or at least educated on how to use it properly, so that you can get the maximum use out of what your firearm is intended to do. And we're going to go ahead and circle back to the ammunition issues. I think, platforms that are susceptible to that would be some like your AR-10s. Using the wrong ammunition in it, if it's chambered for 7.62, trying to use 308 instead would be an issue. Your pistol caliber carbines, such as your AR-9, could be one that is susceptible to issues because it is a direct blowback. It does not use the gas system that the AR-10 and the AR-15 use. It doesn't have the gas tube. It uses the blowback off of the round being fired to cause the bolt to reciprocate rearward and come forward, picking up the next round, chambering that. Having rounds that are loaded way too hot or way too light that don't cycle the firearm properly or get the projectile lodged in the barrel, which would be called a squib for those who are new to that. And for part 5, why is it important to understand the operation of your accessories prior to the attachment? And I would say that because especially for things like muzzle devices or something of that nature, some muzzle devices may be required that you use subsonic ammunition, such as a suppressor. Some of them might not be rated to handle supersonic ammunition. The pressures being imparted upon them might be too great and cause damage to that part, possibly the user as well, or the firearm, because it overloads it on the back pressure, because the pressures of the gases are contained somewhat inside of that, and there will be blowback upon it. There are some suppressors that are a limited or low blowback can. They don't impart as much blowback force upon it. They allow it to expand into the suppressor and then be slowly released so that it doesn't cause back pressure of an excessive amount into the firearm. But that's what I have for this. If you guys have any questions, don't be afraid to reach out and ask. And we will see you guys next time.